Section 1 Football Coach Association Media Day here at Mahopac High School, joined here by the legend, Fred DiCarlo and Eastchester. I call him the legend because you're one of the only people who actually was a head coach when I first started covering Section 1 football. Obviously, you were my assistant coach when I was in school. And I know, if I know one thing about Fred DiCarlo, nothing you love more than this press conference type setup here. So just let's talk about camp first and how things are going.
That's good. This is not my comfort zone.
No, I know. But you've been around long enough. You know what you have in a team probably pretty early in camp. And what do you have in this group right now?
They're hard workers. Where we bring a lot of experience back in certain spots. Some of our seniors didn't get much experience in positions that they're playing now. So we're cautiously optimistic, and you can only tell how good we are by how hard we practice and in our first game. I
know you always seem to have, seniors who just take a huge step from one year to the next. Do you have that this year?
Yeah, I think there's some guys that have taken an off season, really worked hard to be instrumental in what they're going to do for us on the field that didn't play as much last year. So I think they're coming out with a chip on their shoulder, trying to prove something.
Introduce me to who you have here tonight.
This is our defense, all three captains, our guard, our tackle, and our defensive end, Sean Mannion, and Aiden Schultz is our quarterback, who was our receiver last year, and he wants to say linebacker, but a D-back. and we got Chris over here as our center, and our D-end, he's also our captain.
If there's one thing I can tell you about Fred DiCarlo from defense, don't get out of position. That's a recipe for...
That's exactly right. Exactly better line up in the right spot.
I'll let you go first, answer our first question about the team in general, and just what you've seen and what you like so far, and maybe some areas that you think you made a big stride as a team.
Yeah, I think last year somewhere we struggled in the beginning of the season was offensive line play, running the ball, and pass protection a little bit, and I think that's kind of going to be our strong point this season. We have a lot of guys returning, not just offensive line, everywhere, defense, backfield, receivers, all over the place, and even guys who weren't on the team last year are stepping up, whether it's scout team or playing a starting role. And Coach Carlo covered.
6-3 last year.
Yep.
Obviously a solid season. A lot of teams don't win 6 games. How much do you look back on the ups and downs and taking that next step?
High highs and low lows. A lot of those losses were rough, and that kind of gets you through the off season. But looking back on the wins, it gets you through the off season too, because you just want to get back to it.
Aiden, you've seen probably as many. You move the microphone down. You've seen enough Eastchester football over the years to see the ups and downs of the program. Let's just first talk about your transition to playing quarterback. Something your brothers didn't play quarterback, did they?
No,
they weren't good enough. Yeah. They didn't have the arm, basically, is what it was. So tell me about how you separated yourself and win this starting job there.
It was kind of just a mutual decision between me and the coaches. We didn't really have a guy that was a set alone quarterback, and I was willing to step up to the position, and I worked all winter with Coach Fred and Coach Panio, and I think that really helped me, because if I just came into camp not knowing anything, then it would have been trouble. But that was big time move. Still acclimating myself with the position, so I'm looking forward to it though.
In the years that I've been around Eastchester football, the best Eastchester football team I've ever seen was your older brother Andrew's senior year. That team, you were young, but did you experience that at all? Do you remember that at all? And what do you take away now going into this season?
I think the biggest thing about that team, why they're so good, is they bonded so well. It's like they knew each other's moves before the other one almost did it. Between the quarterback, Johnny Arch, my brother, running back, line play, everything was there. There was no weakness in the team. And Coach Fred always says, the weakest link is your strongest player. So if you just bond together, I think that's the most important part. So if you look at all the best teams in Eastchester history, just having team chemistry, I think, is the most important.
Excellent. Let's move the microphone down and give me your perspective on what you've seen out of the team. Maybe some guys who have stepped up and are going to play some big roles this year.
There's been some guys who stepped up into big roles this year. Of course, we have a new starting right guard and right tackle. They've stepped up tremendously. It also comes with the scout team and how much they give us a look, and they could better us to become a better team.
Avril Park in week 1, John Jay in week 2. So tough start here, and Pelham obviously your rival in week 3. obviously 2 teams you lost to start this season. How important is it to get off to a good start, and how much do you kind of like those games being early on?
I think we get off to like a really good start. I mean, we've been preparing all season. I mean, in the weight room all winter long, and I think we could pull some get 2 good really wins.
Excellent. Goals for the year? And you just said obviously making the playoffs. Is there any other goals you guys have as a group? Don't, Freddie. Coach DiCarlo is going to say we're only worried about Albert Park. Friday night, you going on the road?
We're worried about Albert Park
Yeah.
on Friday night. First game, we want to get better each week. I think it's not how you start, it's how you end up. So we're going to look to take one game at a time. Probably that's the company statement, but I think we've been preaching that. Just want to get better. We want to improve week to week.
So bland, so generic, so perfect. Coach, you're the best.
Thank you,
Love
sir.
You, man. Take care.
Thank you,
Good luck,
guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kev.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.